So now I've had the opportunity to have the R8 V10 and also the McLaren 570S. I've had a few people asking me which one I like better, and they're just such different animals that it's really difficult to compare them. You can't actually really do a straight up comparison between the two of them. The McLaren obviously is a lot more exotic, I think, a lot more exotic looking. It draws a hell of a lot more attention than the R8, both when you're driving it and when it's parked. And it's just, obviously you got the scissor doors, the dihedral doors, and the color too. Volcano orange is attracts a lot more attention than the red. So, and the carbon fiber on this thing is just, it's got the full carbon fiber package. So all the door panels are all carbon fiber. It has all the carbon fiber trim pieces. The rear deck lid is all carbon fiber. Top of the engine, carbon fiber. Even this tail piece that goes all the way around the McLaren logo is all carbon fiber. And even the front splitters here are carbon fiber. So this thing's just stacked with carbon fiber. So the aesthetics of this car alone, that's a big difference between the two. Even though I absolutely love the look of the R8, like it's in my eyes still just a timeless design. This one. Anyways, McLaren, it's insanely fast. It is like the R8 is savagely fast. I think the V10. I've got a VF Engineering ECU tune as well as a TCU tune on this car, and I know how fast it is, and when I do wide open throttle, it still scares the shit out of me. And this thing would leave it in the dust. That's how fast this thing is. It has a titanium exhaust system on it. And that's about it, performance-wise. It's just so much lighter than the R8. With the carbon fiber monocell chassis, it's I think 700 or 800 pounds lighter than the R8, which is substantial. So, but having the McLaren now has made me appreciate some of the things on the R8 even more. Honestly, the brake feel way better. Even though this thing can't stop as fast because the McLaren has the ceramic brake package stock standard. The R8 does have good brakes, but they feel way better. The ceramic brakes, you have to wail on the pedal a lot harder. So it's almost more confidence building having the steel brakes that feel the way they do on the R8, and it still stops plenty fast. The second thing is the throttle feel on the R8. It feels way better, way more lineal. You don't have any turbo lag like the McLaren has. Like, don't get me wrong, when this thing's open, it fucking hauls ass. But it does have some turbo lag until the PSI builds up in the turbos, and then it goes like a son of a bitch. But just the feel of this is like exactly how much throttle you give it is exactly what you get back out of it. And thirdly is the steering feel. Now the steering feel for me, I do have coilover suspension on it, which stiffened up the steering quite a bit. I lowered the ride height by about an inch, and the steering feels so good on this car. Like, I absolutely love the steering on the R8. It is so precise. But that being said, the McLaren has a bunch of different settings on it. So it has, normal setting, it has sport setting, it has track setting. So if you put in track, it does stiffen up all the steering and everything. And it has assisted brake turn-in. So when you turn, it brakes the inside wheels so that you can take a sharper line. And I have no doubt this car would outhandle the R8, but it doesn't feel that way. The steering just doesn't have as good feedback, and it just doesn't feel as firm as the R8 does. And I prefer that in the R8. So loving the McLaren, don't get me wrong. I think it's a fantastic car. I'm absolutely loving the power and the aesthetics of this car and just how it makes me feel when I drive it, as opposed to the R8. But man, this R8, I got to tell you, it's been a blast. It is a fantastic car for being a 2011 and still looking the way that it does. And I should mention the sound. way better. The 5.2 liter V10 on this thing, I've got a stasis exhaust system, and that's it for, I've got intakes as well, but the sound of the V10, it sounds way better than the McLaren. The McLaren sounds like a diesel truck until you start revving it out. So there you have it. That's pretty much the major differences. Hard to compare the two, but that's the best job that I can do at comparing these two cars. I'm very blessed and very lucky to have both of them in my garage at the same time. And if I had to boot one out, it would be a tough call. I love them both in their own way.